My name is Reema Chavda and thank you for joining OTT Play today.
Hi, Rima.
Pleasure.
Hi, Reema.
Hi.
First of all, the trailer looks amazing. For a gangster drama lover like me, it was a treat to watch and I cannot wait to watch the show. But having said that, were you guys scared of the fact that, इतने सारे gangster drama shows और movies आ चुकी है तो this could be challenging या फिर आप लोग भी उनकी तरह या तो side हो जाओगे या तो इसको ordinary show बोल देगा कोई? Anyone?
Scared of what? Scared of the gangsters?
No. Scared of the fact that this could be called like one of the other gangster dramas.
Right. I don't think so. I mean, personally, for me, the organized part, the crime part of the series is a backdrop. And if you of course, you must have made out from the trailer that the emotional core of this narrative lies in the family drama of it. This is the story of one family. Yeah, and it's the trials and tribulations that this family goes through. It's about a husband and wife and their children and the decisions that they make, the choices that they make, and the repercussions of that, which are borne by the family and by the city at large. So on a micro level, it is about the family. On a macro level, it's the story of a city coming to terms with post-independence, and how different elements in that society at that given point in time plays out. So
Okay.
yeah, we're really not kind of scared of, we are excited. And I don't think any of these thoughts have really crossed our minds because I think people will relate to this story. It's a human story at the end of the day.
Okay.
We feel confident about it. I think the audiences will love it.
I think so too, because the comments in the YouTube section are also outstanding. I was
Some
just
of them.
reading them before. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, how did you come up with this amazing cast together and what was the process like on the sets? Because we all know that all these actors are outstanding. And when they came together, how was it on the sets? Did they, come up with their own things to, make it more better, or are they completely director and writers actors?
To begin with, I didn't know, besides KK and Nivedita, I didn't know they were all brilliant actors because unfortunately I had not seen anyone's work. Although, of course, Avinash and Kritika have had some really path-breaking things going in their career before they landed with Bombay Meri Jaan. And unfortunately, I had not, seen any of that. Avinash and I have a very long relationship. Avinash auditioned for this really way back in time. And of course, this series has been in the making for a very long time. And I saw his audition and there was something really special about it. Having said that, I flirted around for 8 months with other actors. But I always kept on going back to his audition. And to date, I can't put a finger to what it was. But there was something in it. And I think more than anything else is the honesty with which he approached that character. And he wasn't trying to role play. He wasn't trying to be a gangster. But he was just trying to be this human out of the few scenes that we had, given for the audition. Kritika was the last one to join the team, and she didn't have as much time as the rest of them. I would say, but I think she's brought in all her skill and her acting experience to create the character of Habiba, which goes way beyond the expectations of Renzel and me, who wrote and created her. Nivedita and KK, of course, are, we all know they don't need any introduction. The choice of bringing them on was I also wanted somebody who would be able to convey certain emotions just by either their posture or just through their eyes. I think that was really important, in terms of the narrative going ahead. It was a very intricate casting process. The 120 odd casted characters in the series, and I always curse Renzel for, writing them over 5 years. I think I have cursed him enough for writing so many of them. But I've been really blessed as a director to have these actors who are absolutely totally committed and dedicated to their profession. And I
I'm
think
sure.
Frenzel will definitely fill in on, the other part of it in terms of creating these characters.
Yeah, I think that, in your initial thing about, are there, like, and it's a frequent comment, I think, that how do you separate this show from other shows? There's so much crime, there's so much of the underworld that it is already on OTT. But I think one of the things that really stands for the show is its characters and the characterizations. And I'm not saying that because I've written it or been part of the writing. It's just that you have a very strong father-son relationship. A father who's a cop, a son who's it's almost that classical construct,
Yeah.
And also you have a family, a dysfunctional family within Gangland, Mumbai, and each of them I think, each of their stories will appeal, to viewers. So I think that is why, that is the differentiator, because there are only so many gunfights and only so many chases you can see before it all blurs into one. But what won't blur into, this amorphous thing in your head is the fact that these are characters you can identify with and root for.
Amazing, amazing. Avinash, I'll come to you. Playing a gangster can be a risky thing, as we have seen outstanding actors doing it since years and setting up the benchmark as well. So, was there any pressure that you took in, or you just took it as a challenge?
I didn't look at it as a gangster that I have to play. I always considered it to be a profession that he has in the show. So there was no risk as such. I never thought of it like that. What was really exciting for me was to delve into the relationship that my character has with his family members and the members of his fraternity, gangsters. Those were the things that he wanted to really delve into and find deeper layers and see if I could bring some truth to everything that I do there. Essentially, a story between a father and son. And like when you strip off the labels of the relationship away, it's a conflict between man versus man and their ideological differences. The crime, the gangster bit is all the backdrop that you will see in the show. So, which I found very refreshing. Though you've been saying that there are a lot of crime dramas that we see, I found that bit very, very refreshing as far as our show is concerned. And I'm sure when the audience watches it, they will relate to what I'm trying to say.
Okay, okay. Nivedita ji, how different is real KK Menon's wife with real KK Menon's wife? And I don't have to say this, but we all know that whenever KK Menon comes on screen, he just, takes away all the audience attention. So were you scared of the fact that you're sharing the screen space with your husband, but you will be overshadowed by his character?
No, I wasn't scared of the fact at all. In fact, I was excited that I have such a fantastic co-actor against me, and that any character would overshadow. That was never the question to begin with, because the script is so wonderful. When you see the story, you'll know each and every part is so well defined. Every character just has its own arc. So nobody, in fact, overshadows anybody in this story. And once it goes ahead, once you watch it, you know what I mean.
Wonderful. Kritika, you mentioned it at the trailer launch that women characters in the show are very powerful. But do you feel that we still need to mention this because at times we women do not get the due that we deserve?
What I meant by the women characters being powerful is that it wasn't the roles being powerful. Yes, that's something that we need to still work on. Of course, I think representation of women on screen, and also like representation of just having more women in the crew and around, that is something we need to continue to work on. But things have gotten better. I've been a part of two all women shows. I mean, like women-led shows in that sense. But this particular story is a representation of that era, that world, where we're trying to authentically tell you a story of that time. In this real world, these parts that we have in this show are like really powerful and strong. That's a personality trait, not just how they are portrayed, of course. And I think that is because the lens of our makers is such. They look at female characters like characters. They are human beings, and they are not just somebody's mother or somebody's sister, or that's not their only function in the plot or in the story. So here, in terms of both, how these characters are developed and in their own traits as well, there's a lot of strength.
Of course. Avinash, also congratulations on 5 years of Laila Majnu. Are you planning on portraying a hopeless romantic anytime soon? Because audience have been waiting.
I hope so. I've been waiting for an opportunity to. If it comes through, why not? Absolutely.
Okay. And do you want to add anything on 5 years of Laila Majnu? Also, it is one of my favorite films. Also, because I started my career 5 years back with Laila Majnu when Laila Majnu was released. So it's like we both are in the same stream, but in a different way.
You acted in Laila Majnu?
I reviewed Laila Majnu. That was my first work.
All I want to say is honestly that, I mean, whatever I have at this point in my career, I owe it to Laila Majnu at this point of time. The film disappeared, and if it has stayed relevant today, it's only because of the love that the fans have given it. I hope it keeps growing. It's building every day, and I hope it keeps giving me till the end of my career. That's all I can say.
Okay, wonderful. Also, Shujat and Renzel, do you think that the quality of content is getting affected with the amount of shows and films we see coming on OTT platforms on a daily or on a weekly basis?
I don't think so. I think it's a very personal thing, right? The business aspect of it plays out across mediums. So yes, it depends on what intent with which creators and filmmakers and collaborators and actors are coming together. It depends on, it varies on from medium to medium. We see really bad films, we see really good films. Likewise, with every medium of filmmaking and every platform where a series or a piece of content is showcased, it all depends on what is the personal intent and integrity of the people who want to, put themselves out there, and what do they want their names to be attached with.
Okay. Renzel, do you want to add anything?
See, at any point of time, if you look at it as a percentage game, at any point of time, how much is really good? Not just in movies or books, in life. Quality, that's why it's quality, right? 3%, 5%. Now your base is getting so much because there are so many shows and so many platforms, and you just feel that there's a plethora of series or whatever, and sometimes you don't even reach episode 3, because there's a fatigue that has set in. But that really does not mean that those shows are not good or whatever. It's just that the universe has grown so much bigger. Look at OTT. I said 2017-18 till now. Hasn't it given a greater opportunity to actors who would never be seen, to writers who would never have their work? If you're talking about commercial Hindi cinema, these stories would never be told. Nor would we have, I think, more than even writers. Look at the actors we have got because of this medium. So I don't think there's a fall. I just think that there's too much out there. There's too much social media. There's too much content fighting for your attention. And there'll always be that 1 or 2% that has quality.
True, but then as you mentioned that people don't even reach till the episode 3rd, right? But I think with the trend of reels on social media now, people have a span of attention for like 10 to 60 seconds. I think starting if they don't feel ki ye content hame pasand aa raha hai, so they might change it. So this has also become a risky business. Don't you think so?
No. See, I'll tell you what I think what is happening is people, see, technology is urging you to respond faster to everything. When I did not have a mail, just think when we didn't have email, I was not, or text, I was not constantly troubled at every hour of the day to respond to someone or to engage with someone. Okay.
Right.
So your brain is getting fried because there's more hitting at you, and there's this your body language or your it's just your response time is increasing, your level of engagement is increasing, and so your attention span is dwindling because there are more forces attacking you. I don't So it's a personal choice. I, for one, try not to be on social media because I don't want to engage, because I want to be with myself. These are personal choices. I don't think it has anything to do with quality, technology. It's how much you want to immerse yourself, right?
Right, right.
I think it's also got to do with the innovation of creative ideas, because what has happened during the lockdowns is, we used to live in our own bubble.
True.
Yeah, when we had 6 months of nothing to do, everyone started subscribing and started watching what is happening world over. So a film like Oppenheimer, which speaks about quantum physics for 3 hours, does the kind of business it does in India. So imagine the amount of footfalls. And now we as filmmakers and writers and, creative people have to up our game, because we need to give audience something which is of a certain quality and a certain standard, right? Because they've seen Tom Cruise jumping off that ramp on social media and on Insta Reels and everywhere, the making of it, and Mission Impossible. You can't just have two measly cars blowing up and call it an action film anymore, which
True.
was the case that was happening, before COVID happened, before the exposure happened to the world. Now they're exposed. Now they know. Now we have to up our game in terms of the
Right.
content that we create.
That's so true. That's so true. Also, Bombay Meri Jaan was always meant to be a show, or did you also think about making this a film?
It was always meant to be a show, because that's how Renzel and his writing team approached it. The idea came from Hussain Zaidi, who we all know is, India's leading crime reporter and over 3 decades of crime reporting. So he came with the seed of the idea. The story was his, from all his experiences in covering organized crime in India, and it was laid in the safe hands of Renzel. And the approach was always, because the story is not a story of 2-3 days or of 2-3 months or 2-3 years. It's an epic saga. It's the first season itself deals with 3 decades of Bombay, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and it's an ongoing story, and it's larger than life, and it goes through passages and corridors that have not been touched so far, in any realm of filmmaking, I would say. So I think, yes, Renzel always approached it as a web show.
Okay, okay. Avinash, Kritika, and Nivedita, I'm so sure that everyone must be asking you this, but even I would like to know, how was it working with KK Menon on screen?
I think Kritika and Avinash can go ahead.
Yeah, I
first.
would want to, because it was like enough fanboy for the longest period of time. But I think right from 2002, 2003, I've been following his work. I used to do theatres at Prithvi, and I would always see him surrounded by beautiful women those days. And then going through, I remember reading an article about him being the intelligent woman's man. It always became like an aspiration for me when I first saw him. I remember Hazaro Khwaishein Aisi. So when I met him like a fanboy. I was too awestruck to have a conversation initially. There was a certain amount of fear and respect together, which I think I was able to use it for my part also when I was playing this father-son equation that I had with him. So I think for me it has really worked out well. There is a certain kind of energy that I sense between us when we sit together, and I really look forward to it every time I'm meeting him. And I hope it's translated on screen when you see it. There is a certain vibe, there is a certain energy of these two men. I hope it comes through when you see the show.
Okay. Kritika, do you want to add anything?
I share this sentiment absolutely. There are some actors that you deeply admire for their craft and for all that they've done, and KK sir is one of them. To just watch KK sir and Nivedita ma'am both on set, creating magic so effortlessly. They have this disciplined process and professionalism that they bring, and what you see, what they make of it, what they weave is absolute magic. So just to be able to witness that up front, and also like to see them perform not on a screen but right in front of us was just, I think, one of the best parts of this experience, to learn from the best actors.
Wonderful.
Wow, that was, thank you, Avinash and Kritika. That was lovely. I didn't know. We shot for such a long time, but all this never came out. But yeah, your question about KK, I would just say that if you keep the fact aside that I'm married to him, but I, as an actor, definitely admire him as an actor, and as I admire a few more. So it was absolutely an honor to work with him as an actor and to collaborate with him. And yeah, hats off to Shujat for bringing us together. Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.